so Heimweh nach dem Kurfürstendamm. Hab so ne Sehnsucht nach meinem Berlin.
Berlin remained under the joint control of the wartime Allies. Its western sector was an outpost of capitalism, deep inside the communist world. Moscow decided this could not go on.
Switches are pulled on generators, and the fuel famine forces drastic power cuts. Berlin becomes a city of darkness as all ground communication is severed and industry comes to a standstill.
In June 1948, with no warning, the Soviets shut off all the supply lines to Berlin which crossed their zone.
The blockade was prepared weeks in advance. We'd done everything we could to make the Allies leave West Berlin voluntarily, because it was a mote in our eye. So in the end, we decided to force them to leave by making life intolerable for West Berlin.
Western leaders had watched passively as Eastern Europe fell under Soviet control. This time, they decided to act. Regardless of cost, they started to supply Berlin from the air. Experienced flyers were called back.
Telex came in and says, we want 4 of your airplanes to leave Mobile, Alabama, go to Frankfurt within 4 hours. And we want crews for that. And so I volunteered. We knew the dire straits that the people in Berlin were under. I was excited to join the airlift and brought along my 8mm camera. We're just coming out of the shower again, Pickering, my co-pilot. We'd fly all night and come back in the middle of the day and sleep in the middle of the day 6 hours and take off again, round the clock.
Month after month, the planes kept flying. To people in the West, the blockade confirmed all they'd been told about the Russians.
It seemed to me as we flew the airlift, it came right down to the basic level of comparison between good and evil.
Mit 250.000 Nettotonnen Gebrauchsgütern für die Berliner Bevölkerung. Diese kostbaren Ladungen nach Berlin zu bringen, mussten die Flugzeuge eine Strecke zurücklegen, die 1000 Mal die Erde reicht.
One landed every 10 minutes. You can imagine how we felt. The planes flew low over our rooms in the officers' quarters in Karlshorst. Those enormous planes 100 meters above us.
Beginning his own private propaganda campaign, Captain Halverson parachuted chocolate bars to the children of Berlin.
Was ich jetzt persönlich erlebt habe, war, dass etwas herunterschwebte.
Something was floating down, and many of the children knew what it was.
Und die flitzten, die rannten. Und ich dachte, naja, gut.
Everyone was running, and I was thinking, what is it? What's going on? And I started running. But there were only a few parachutes, so I didn't get one. So then I wrote to the chocolate uncle at Tempelhof Airport.
Flughafen Tempelhof.
A little girl wrote me, her name is Mercedes. She says, when you see the white chickens, drop it there. I don't care if it scares them. Well, I looked for them and I couldn't find them. I dropped all over the approach. I had my buddies in the squadron drop another letter. Look, you guys are missing this all the time. So finally I gave up on her. I took a big package of gum and candy to Berlin and mailed it to Mercedes.
Als ich dann so das erste Stückchen Schokolade von der Tafel,
This was the first piece of chocolate I'd had
Schokoladenonkel,
from the chocolate uncle.
so abbiss.
And when I bit into it, it was heaven on earth.
Himmel auf Erden, ne?
Midnight of Wednesday, the 11th of May, 1949. The blockade of Berlin is due to end as crowds gather at the Russian-British frontier.
The Soviet climb down turned a major crisis for the West into a triumph.